this morning? You said she drank about half a bottle? McNabb, yes, sir. Alexander, is that typical for that time of day? Or McNabb, she's been doing pretty good. She usually takes anywhere from 2 ounces to, anywhere from like maybe an ounce to a little over 2 ounces, something like that. Alexander, so you're keeping track of how much she's taking in? McNabb, I try to. Alexander, yeah? McNabb, she eats until she don't want it no more. Alexander, right. McNabb, when she don't want it no more, she will not open her mouth and take that nipple in her mouth. Alexander, McNabb, and when I know she don't want it, then I burp her. Alexander, McNabb, you know what I mean? Alexander, ugh. If I don't have to say, you know what I mean one more time in my life. McNabb, I put her hands up. I put her head right here and make sure that it's facing away from my shoulder and not in my shoulder where she could suffocate. And I pat her on her back. About like this right here. Alexander, McNabb. And I hold her butt so she don't slide. I do what I feel like is, what I was told in the hospital how to do stuff. Alexander, McNabb, so that's what I do. Alexander, did she burp this morning? McNabb, yes, sir. McNabb, a good one. Alexander, okay. McNabb, I actually told my baby's mama it's probably one of the better ones because at first she couldn't really burp her good. Alexander, McNabb, you know what I mean? She didn't really want to burp for Courtney, so I always was the one that made her burp. Alexander, some people don't have that talent, you know? McNabb, well, now she's good, but Alexander, McNabb, but usually I would get her. I guess maybe because I got the patience to do it longer because I love to have her in my arms. I love to love on her. You know what I mean? Alexander, McNabb, I like having my kid, It makes me feel like I've done something in my life. Like I got a reason for being here. Alexander, McNabb, I didn't contribute to society. All I done was run it down. And ever since Clarissa was born, I just feel different about life. I feel like I've actually done something. I provided the world with something beautiful. Alexander, McNabb, that's how I feel, and I try to do the best I can. Alexander, McNabb, you know what I mean? I get up and I go to work. Alexander, McNabb, but it hadn't been like that now. Alexander, McNabb, I go to work with my dad. He'll tell you I work. You know what I mean? Every now and then I miss a day or two. Sometimes I'm just so tired, I don't wake up when he knocks on the door. You know what I mean? Alexander, McNabb. So, but for the most part, I'm a working man now. You know what I mean? And Alexander, and you said you didn't work last week? McNabb, no, I didn't work last week. Alexander, not at all? McNabb, no, sir. Alexander, why not? McNabb, mainly it was because I think Monday last week when he went to Tennessee, he didn't come back until Monday evening, so that's why I didn't work Monday. Alexander, okay. McNabb, and then Tuesday is when everything happened with the kids and stuff. Alexander, okay. McNabb, and so I don't know, I guess I got a little depressed. But I just told Daddy, I'm like, look, man, I don't feel good, man. I just don't feel like going to work right now. Alexander, McNabb. And that was that was not a good move, but I was down and out. When you just went and just stole my kids. Alexander, McNabb, but I'm supposed to go back to work Monday. Alexander, okay. McNabb, so I was happy about that. Alexander, tell me, Christopher, when you came to your senses today and realized you needed to go look for your child, tell me exactly again where you went. McNabb, I took her right out of my driveway. Alexander, okay. McNabb, or out of my yard. I walked up that road where where it goes up. I looked down that street and I was looking at people's yards, not going in them or nothing, but just looking and looking on the ground. And then as soon as you come, like, there's like a shed right there on the left. And then this lady's house is right here. Alexander, McNabb. I went in through the woods. I went down and there's one place you could go to the right. And I think it might go to somebody's house. I never go that way. Alexander, okay. McNabb, I always take the first clearing. It's not really clear though. It's like kind of grew up a little bit. You know what I mean? It goes down and then it kind of goes up a little bit. And it goes straight to Henderson Mill Road. Alexander, McNabb. That's the route I took. And I came out and I took a right on Henderson Mill and went down and went all the way to that girl Sarah's house. And in Courtney, Texas, I stood there for maybe 30 seconds, and Courtney did the Facebook Messenger thing or whatever it is, and said that the police are here and they want to know where you're at. So I was like, I'm coming. You know what I mean? And I turned around and went back. I went on the other side of the road first. Then I realized I'm walking down the wrong side of the road, because you're not supposed to walk along with traffic. You're supposed to walk against it. So I went back on the other side of the road and I walked. And I was going to go back into the woods where I came out to get there faster, but I was like, no, I want to go up that way too, because that was my plan, to go up that way too and look to see if anything was anything. Alexander, was there a logging road or a dirt road or anything like that back there where you was walking? McNabb. Road? What road? Alexander. Anything, any kind of old road or path, or McNabb, I don't know. The path I take is like, there's like rocks, but it's like mainly like tall grass kind of. Alexander, okay. McNabb, just, I don't know what kind of road. I don't really know exactly what that is, what that would look like. I mean, is it just Alexander, well, just an old dirt road or something, McNabb, I ain't never noticed a road. Alexander, okay. McNabb, maybe there's one. I hadn't really been all through there. You know what I mean? Ugh, I hadn't had no reason to. I just go to Henderson Mill, and either that's the shortest to Henderson's, or it's better to stay off 36, so I might go through there to go to Henderson's. That's when we didn't have the car, when I was doing that. So that was a while back, but Alexander, McNabb, or I'll take a right and walk down there to get to that girl's house. But I hadn't done that in a while neither. So I mean, Alexander, in the last 15 days, have you ever taken Kalia on one of them walks with you? McNabb, no sir, I have not. Alexander, she's never been out in the woods? Lord have mercy. McNabb, never. Alexander, nothing like that? McNabb, never. I would never take either one in the woods. I mean, maybe it's acceptable to do it, but I haven't done it. Alexander, a lot of babies used to be born in the woods, so I don't know, right? McNabb, true. Alexander, was anybody else with you? McNabb, no sir. Alexander, anybody follow you or anything? McNabb, not that I'm aware of. Alexander, with Facebook Messenger? McNabb, yes sir. Alexander, can I see that? McNabb, you got a phone charger? Well, it's still on. Hold on. I said if they're there, I'm on my way back. She said, come back. They're here, baby. I said, I'm coming. They want to know where you are. Alexander, okay. McNabb, that was what I said to her. She said no, because when I left, I was like, I'm looking everywhere. Have y'all got a clue yet? And she was like, no, I'm calling 911. Alexander, okay. McNabb, and I said, baby, I can't go to jail when my baby is missing. You know what I mean? Like, I know what that sounds like, but that wasn't what was going on. I said, Alexander, why would you go to jail? McNabb, I mean, I'm on probation, so... Alexander, yeah, McNabb. I was looking at it like they come out here. I'm on probation. Our kid's been kidnapped. Who they gonna look at? I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a good reason to tell you why I said that. Alexander, McNabb. I mean, my baby was missing, you know? I just told her, I just said that. Alexander, what's the last of the text there? McNabb, it says they want to know where you are. Alexander, McNabb. I said, what the F am I supposed to do? Are they there? And I meant to say, if so, I'm on the way. OTW. I said, if they're there, I'm on the way back. She said, come back. They're here. I said, I'm coming. She said, hurry up, Daddy. Come on. That's when I was going up to cut through the church. And she called. And we didn't talk. And then I missed a call. I missed a video chat. Missed the call. And that was when I was in the back of the car a while ago coming here. I love you. We will get through this. And then I haven't even read that. That's the first I've seen that. Alexander, okay, she called you daddy? McNabb, yes, sir. Help me, Lord. I can't. Alexander, okay. Well, here's the thing, Christopher. We've got to find this child. McNabb, that's my priority. Alexander, yeah, McNabb. It's the only thing I care about right now. Alexander, Alexander, you know, the dog sniffed the pad that the baby sleeps on. That's what they were using to get the scent, as they say. And I don't know a whole lot about dog tracking. I don't do that, okay? But we've got some good dogs, okay? And we've got some good dog handlers. McNabb, yes, sir. Alexander, and it sounds like the dog took the scent off the pad and kind of followed the route that you say he was walking. That's why I'm asking you. Anybody else follow you? Have you ever taken the baby out there? You said no, nothing like that. McNabb, no, sir. Alexander, okay. And kind of, McNabb, I'm pretty sure I was the last one that had the baby. I was the last one that hold her. Alexander, okay, except for whoever took her, right? McNabb, I guess so. Alexander, yeah, the dog went to a specific place and stopped. It kind of circled it. Kind of a big area. Now, I haven't been out there, so I'm not sure. We've got folks out there now. And I'm just curious as to why that would happen. We've got to find this child. We've got a 15-day-old child that we know can't walk, can't crawl, can't run, can't fly, nothing like that, right? McNabb, yes, sir. Alexander, and she's outside, right? McNabb, I guess. I mean, if somebody took her, maybe she's not outside. Alexander, McNabb, but I don't know. Alexander, if she is outside, she's laying there, right? McNabb, yes, sir. Alexander, what else happens in woods? What do we got? We've got bugs, critters, animals, varmints, raccoons, snakes, spiders, all that kind of stuff. Yikes. McNabb, yes, sir. Alexander, we don't want them to get her, you know? Bug bites we can deal with, right? McNabb, yes, sir. Alexander, but we don't want anything of harm to come to this child. This is the hard part of the interview. This is where we talk about reality for a little bit, right? McNabb, yes, sir. Alexander, I'm just going to ask you, Christopher, and I want you to be honest with me. Did anything happen to Kalia overnight? McNabb, I mean, no, nothing happened to her. Like bad? Alexander, or good? McNabb, no, I mean nothing. Just the same old stuff. Alexander, McNabb, I'm trying to think if anything out of the ordinary might have happened. The only thing I can think of is the first time she pooped and I changed her. As soon as we got her diaper back on, she pooped again. Alexander, yeah, they do that. I mean, McNabb, so but she hadn't been doing that, though. And it was a different color. and had different texture and everything because I took the diaper. I laid her down. I took the diaper and showed it to my baby's mama. I was like, that shit was green while ago. Alexander, McNabb. Now it's like brown, but it looks like it kind of looked like there was oatmeal in it. Ay. Alexander, McNabb. You know what I mean? Alexander, McNabb. I don't know what that means. But that was 2 different kinds of poops within like 5-minute period. Alexander, McNabb. But that's it. That's never happened before any time I've ever changed her. Courtney's never mentioned anything like that. So, but no, nothing happened really. Alexander, you say those crates or bins or boxes that's got your clothes in them were sitting right up there next to the bassinet where the baby sleeps? McNabb, yes sir. Alexander, the scenario I'm running through my head right now, Christopher, is that possibly one of those fell on her. Didn't happen? McNabb, no sir. Alexander, okay. McNabb, did not happen. Alexander, she wasn't suffocated or anything like that? McNabb, there was no kind of anything happened that would cause me to take my kid anywhere out of that house. Nothing happened to her, nothing bad. I'm a pretty smart guy, so I know the questions you're asking, what they're leading to. And the answer is no. Alexander, what am I leading to? McNabb, did something bad happen to her where I felt like I needed to do something with her so nobody would know or something like that? Alexander, McNabb, something along those lines. But no, that's not what's going on. I swear, nothing like that. Alexander, swear to God? McNabb, swear to God. I put that on my 2-year-old. Nothing bad happened to that little girl. Alexander, okay, it's just, I've been doing this for a long time, and this is the first time I can remember that a 15-day-old child has been taken from their home. McNabb, yeah, not even a week after. Alexander, and we can't point to anything because I can tell you I'm a grandparent, okay? If I was to take one of my grandchildren, I wouldn't let the police get all up in a hot bother like this. I'd say, you know what? I took that job because they ain't nothing but trash. Oh, McNabb, yes sir. Alexander, so as far as that's going, I don't believe that happened. McNabb, and I don't either. And I don't think so either. I mean, I pretty much know. I mean, them people don't like me and they hate me. And I really ain't got nothing good to say about them. Alexander, McNabb, but I know they would never hurt my kids for the simple fact that when my daughter was born, they lived with them. Alexander, McNabb, for the first 18 months of Clarissa's life, she lived with them. Ain't nothing ever bad happened to her, so I mean, I never accused them of anything. I never thought that. Alexander, okay. McNabb, even though the first thing they did was accuse me. Alexander, sure. McNabb, which, Alexander, it's obvious they don't care for you. McNabb, yeah, and I don't care for them either. Alexander, and that's fine, McNabb, just because they don't care for me and I try my utmost to be respectful to those people. Oh, Lord. Alexander, McNabb. I call them yes sir, no sir. I don't get disrespectful with them people at all. Alexander, McNabb. But, it is what it is. A lot of people like that about their daughters and granddaughters. Alexander, the whole thing about these totes, these bins, that's one of the little red flags that keeps popping up to me. Why somebody would even, because they didn't have to touch them. If somebody came in there, you didn't have to move them bins to get to the baby, right? McNabb, no. Nobody had to move them bins to get to the baby. Alexander, McNabb. The only thing I can think of is maybe somebody was looking for something. But why would you look in the clothes? Or what could you be looking for? I ain't got nothing. I don't know, Mr. Alexander. I really don't know. Alexander, I don't either. McNabb, I wish I had answers. I wish I knew where she was. Alexander, if something did happen to her and you took her out and buried her or put her somewhere, at least we'd know where she's at, wouldn't we? McNabb, she didn't crawl out. She didn't walk out. Alexander, tell me about Courtney. I have so much more to read. McNabb, what about her?